This short video will show you how to access the training for the Computer Concepts exam. In Blackboard, you're going to click on SAM Reports. You can also access the training if you've already registered with Cengage through the Assignments link. I'm going to go through SAM Reports, and then I'm going to click on Section Number. When the content loads, you will initially be brought to a calendar. Notice at the top there's different tabs. We're going to go over to the Activity List tab. A list of assignments that will be covered throughout the semester are provided for you. Notice all these ones in black. That means I can't yet open those. I can't access those yet. And if I look over here, I can see the date that they will become available. And this will change from semester to semester. It'll also give you a status of whether or not you've attempted the assignment yet. What I'm looking for is the training that's going to go along with this computer capstone exam. So if I scroll down this list, I get about halfway down and I start seeing all the training. This training for all these applications is always available to you. But we're going to focus on the computer capstones exam training. Make sure before you attempt to do this that you have enabled your pop-up blockers, or disabled your pop-up blockers, because if you notice the window of the activity list, it's in a separate window from Blackboard. So I'm going to click on this Computer Concepts exam training, and then I'm going to click Start. You can do this training as many times as you like. You can stop and start it. It'll keep track of where you were. It comes up with a simulation window. By default, all the training is set to apply, which means that it's set that you can go ahead and try and complete the task yourself. In this example, the instructions say create a notebook in OneNote called Spring in the default folder on this PC. Now, if you don't know how to do that, then you can come here and you can click on this Observe mode. When I select that, it's going to play a video.
Click the File tab on the ribbon. Backstage view opens. Click New. OneNote displays the new notebook gallery. Click this PC to select the location for the new notebook. Click in the notebook name text box and then type Spring as the name of the notebook. Click the Create Notebook button. OneNote creates the notebook in the OneNote Notebooks folder in the Documents folder.
Now you can see that I've finished observing the task, so at this point I can go ahead and try and do it myself. So if I click Apply, then I can follow the same instructions that were given to me in the observation video. So I'm going to type in Spring and then new notebook, and it tells me that I have completed that task. It'll automatically move to the next one. If you want to work on these and then go back and stop and then come back, if I click on this task list, it'll put a check mark here next to all those practice scenarios that I have completed. So if I got through like 10 of them and then I decide to take a break, when I come back in here, it'll remember that and I can pick up where I left off. Most of the questions are a simulation type example like you just saw, but there are also some that are matching. So for example, in this one, Introduction in the Computer Hardware, I see these 4, 5 descriptions, and over here I have these pictures. So what you're going to do is drag the picture into the box next to the statement that describes it. So for example, a pointing device used primarily for computer gaming systems. So I could say, well, I think it's this one. If I drop it in and it's right, it'll tell me that's correct. But let's say I have it incorrect. So I'm going to say a flat surface found on laptop computers that can be used instead of a mouse. We'll say I accidentally draw this picture up here. It's going to come back and say, nope, try it again. So this time I'll get the right picture, and then it'll say that's correct. This would be the mouse. And then these would be pens. Oops, wrong one. There we go. And then I have this is on a laptop. A lot of times you see this on a laptop computer. There again, it tells me activity complete, and it goes on to the next one. If you have a Mac, there are hints for Macs. So you can click on this little arrow and it'll bring up some Mac hints. Because sometimes the commands are different in the simulations than they are in the Windows. If you do not want to hear her voice when we're doing some of these tasks up here, when I go to observe, I can turn that off when I start to play it. So I could turn that off and mute it and just watch. I can restart a task, I can skip to another task, and I can also listen to an introduction. This gives me just a little bit more information about the whole task. For example, this one is convert linked notes to text, and it just gives a little bit more explanation, more like what you would find in the book. There are 55 tasks in this assignment, in this practice exam. I strongly suggest that you work through all of these at least once, because I guarantee you that these are the same types of questions that are going to be on the computer capstone exam. So if you have any problems running the training or opening the training, please contact your instructor as soon as possible, and don't wait until Sunday night to tackle the computer concepts exam, because if you do have problems, your instructor may or may not be online and available to help you. Remember, you can always use the link in Blackboard to Cengage's technical support. This will tell them not only that you're a student at Coastal, but it also tells them what section you're in.